Yeah, what's up, kings and queens? We're back again, as usual. Compliments of the new season. I'm just wishing everybody have a good year ahead that's coming and get whatever they wanted, they wished for, they deserved, they planned for. And then we're going to continue with our series. Today we are dealing with the star witness, the state star witness, Mr. Sizwe Zungu, the guy who was debunked by his own father. This is the guy who claimed that he was at the hostel during the time of the crime. And yet, at the same time, the first time he met Kininda, he claimed that he didn't have much information. His father was the one who had the hearsay, a triple hearsay, in fact, from one of the relatives of Ntanzi, and then he passed it on to Zungu, the junior, who also know that decided now he has a part to play. To find out that he didn't tell his father, that he also knew something about it. And what's amazing is that the way this guy was dealing with his father, the way he was dealing with his father, the way his father explains, it is disgusting. Very disgusting that this guy could put his father in that type of situation where he's harassed by cops, he's called to desolate spots to come and, you know, try to convince him to be a state witness and come and lie for the state. Anyway, let's just get into it. I just want to say hi to those who are in the live. Thank you for popping in. If you wanted to know about something, if you want to comment something, just put it out there. I'll flash it on the screen so that your views can be heard, and maybe we can talk about them while we're still talking about the star state witness. Now, Mr. Zungu, there's a lot of problems with this evidence, as we're going to see as we read here. Now, the intel and brief on Zungu is this. I tried to tell it that it must find and analyze all the evidence led by Constable Sizwe Zungu, then point out all the contradiction, even against core state witnesses. So here's the analysis of Constable Sizwe Zungu's evidence and contradiction. Constable Sizwe Zungu delivered what is arguably the most damning testimony in the Senzo Mewa trial, placing all 5 accused at the Basotho hostel in Fort Soros on October 26, 2014, the day of the murder. Now, Sizwe Zungu claims to be a childhood associate of accused number 1, Muzi Kaulela Sibia, and accused number 2, Bongani Ntanzi from Nongoma, KwaZulu-Natal, testified that he was visiting his nephew Fiso Gwabini Zungu at the hostel when the accused arrived. Now, this was all debunked by Fiso Gwabini Zungu, because as soon as Fiso Gwabini Zungu entered the dock, the stand, all hell broke loose. All hell broke loose, to the point that even the investigating officer threatened the lawyers. That had me flabbergasted, like for miles, for years, for days. These guys got the boss to attack the legal defense team, especially advocate Nancy. That was something else. So it shows you that whatever Fiso Kwabini Zungu was saying, it rubbed the state the wrong way. You could tell it even from that incident that was depicted by Zungu, Fiso Zungu, when he said at one point he came to the court to try to present himself by himself. And then Mohola, caught fire. She started promising him all kinds of things that will happen to him, all kinds of bad things that will happen to him if he ever came again there, to show you that this state witness, they really didn't want him to even appear, to be known even by a court. That's why they didn't even present his statement, but yet they claimed that he was their, protected witness, somebody who's going to say some things to implicate these guys, yet that guy never did that. When he came to the state to stand, he crushed the state's case. Let's go to the core evidence led by Zungu. Timeline of movement. Zungu stated that the accused were drinking alcohol and eating meat at the hostel. He claimed that accused number 1, 2, 3 has disappeared for a period during the evening and returned hastily. Firearms. Upon their return, Zungu testified accused number 1 was in possession of a 38 special revolver and accused number 3 carried a 9mm pistol. Now, here's something that you need to highlight it. At this point, when he talked about the 38 special revolver and a 9mm in the same breath, why did he involve the 38? Because the witnesses in the house had talked about the 38. So they're trying to make some correlation that at some point, this 38 might have been seen, but they might have ignored the 9mm. I don't know what type of information he's trying to relay here. Clothing change. He specifically noted that accused number 2, Bonganitas, was wearing a black hoodie before leaving, but was wearing a gray hoodie upon his last return. That's the thing. The hoodie as well, they're trying to, the hoodie are trying to make that connection with what the people in the house were saying. Behavior. Zungu alleged that the men were celebrating and checking social media for news of Senzo Meyiwa death shortly after returning. Now, let me just correct this here because it didn't voice it the way I wanted it to voice it. Yeah. This guy is the one who claimed that he checked social media for any news that Senzo had, passed away. But as you can tell, like from, I don't know which social media was he checking, right? Because if he was checking social media, the photos that have been flighting there on the other software, because I can't do it here, that slideshow that you were seeing of Twitter posts from several news reporters talking about the crime, even on the night, around 10, 11, 12, there were already some posts there on X talking about it, which was tweeted by them, talking about that incident. So if Sizwe Zungu said he checked on social media, which one did he check it? Because he probably didn't check on X, because X already was reporting on there. So to show you that this guy himself, he was already on some fabrication style. Critical contradictions against co-state witnesses. The hoodie color discrepancy, visual evidence. Zungu's testimony explicitly stated that accused number 2, Ntanzi, left wearing a black hoodie and returned. No, in fact, he implied that he changed to gray hoodie to inside the house. That's what he said. Because he said they went into the room and then when he came out, he was wearing a gray hoodie, right? Trying to imply that he was hiding evidence, something like that. Tumela Matlala's eyewitness in the house, that's the eyewitness in the house, testified that an intruder identified as Ntanzi was wearing a jacket that was caramel or brown. Wow. You see? Now, Zandile Kumar, eyewitness in the house, could not recall the specific color of the hoodie when pressed by the defense, leading to accusations of fabrications. The discrepancy between the black gray hoodie, that one that was mentioned by Zungu, and then caramel brown that was mentioned by Malala, is significant material contradiction regarding the killer's attire, the ballistics, and firearm type. Zungu's testimony, accused 3 had 9mm pistol. Colonel Chris Mangana, ballistic expert, this actually corroborate Zungu, as Mangana leaked 9mm found into the bullet found at the crime scene. You understand why I'm reading this fast? Because I don't believe it. However, the defense has challenged the chain of custody regarding this firearm. And I'm challenging as well as defense has also done that how that projectile was found. Three officers, two to three officers came in, right? The first responders. They came in, checked, found nothing. One special lady came, Mhlahlo. Then she was the special one. She started finding things, right? She's got special eyes. That's the question that I have with it. And another question is the eyewitnesses in the house, they never talked about 9 millimeter. So why are you checking projectiles from 9 millimeter, Mangena? It doesn't make sense. Cell phone location data, technical evidence. Zungu's testimony places accused three Ngube at the Basotho hostel in Port Soras during the critical window. Defense and technical cross-examination. Defense advocate Charles Muniz argued that the cell phone data showed Nguve's phone pinging in Johannesburg, specifically seemingly outside Fort Soras at the time of the murder, directly contradicting Zungu's eyewitness account of him being at the hostel, including the people in the house claiming that they saw Wuntans and all that at the house by that time. Now, just put into perspective what the judge was saying about this, even Baloi. They tried to claim that the phone could have left Phosphorus and went to the CBD while the accused stayed around. But now, if you turn it around in the same breath, are you telling me that they won't believe me now? They won't believe the defense if they try to bring forth that assertion that, okay, we can say the same thing. We can say that the time that the phones were at Phosphorus, and then that was the time of the murder, the event. We could say that the witnesses were in the CBD. The phones were there by themselves. Who's going to believe that? Who's going to take that? Now, why would the court come with a similar lackluster argument, trying to say, no, the witnesses, the accused could have not been there, but the phones, the accused could have been there, but the phones could have been somewhere else. That was the argument that was raised by Judge Rata and Baloi. Now, defense, contradictions, not non-state, right? Sifiso Gwabini Zungu, nephew, testifying for the defense. Zungu's own nephew denied that Zungu was at the hostel on that day and denied that the accused were present, labeled the testimony as lie. You remember that day when he was talking about Amanga land, Amanga, Unamanga, like even the supporters of the state, they were trying to now, frame that thing, that situation when Zungu was saying Amanga, Unamanga, like just repeatedly talking about Zungu's lies as repetitive evidence which is not true. Because what else can he say? If somebody is lying about a situation that never happened, what else can you say? Because if you add something else, you'll be introducing new information there. You just have to deny what he's saying. It got better the following day when now Zungu was giving us full sentences and articulating, right? According to Zungu, right, the men arrived at the hostel in a state of high tension and were seen handling firearms, specifically CZ75 and a 9mm pistol. No, you are messing it up, AI here. He said 38 and 9mm. Now, he claimed they appeared to be celebrating later that evening and were seen changing their clothes, which the state used to suggest they were disposing of evidence or altering their appearance after the shooting of the Bafana captain. Right? We're gonna leave this aside because we heard how the people in the house saw a different hood and he saw a different hood. Besides, beyond the hoodie color, Zungu's evidence contradict other state witnesses and his own professional obligation in several ways. Physical stature. Ntokozisi Twala and Tumelo Madlala provide a description of the intruder's physical builds that the defense argued do not match the man Zungu claimed to have seen at the Force Ross hostel. The reporting gap. As a constable in the South African Police Services, Zungu failed to report his observations for nearly 8 years. This creates a massive credibility gap when compared to the immediate statement provided by the occupants of the Kumalo household. Weapon handling. Zungu claimed to have seen the accused with specific firearms, yet his timeline for when these weapons were produced and moved does not align perfectly with the ballistic timeline suggested by other forensic experts. I don't know why you're saying that AI, but you really have to substantiate your claims with sources. I guess the sources are there. I don't have time to read the source now. I just want to go to that other question that I asked it in the tenure, right? Where now we are conversing with AI, talking about the topic upstairs. Now that his father also rubbished his claims, what does it mean for the state's case? Let me just check the live. I just want to say hi to the live supporters, the people who are checking the live out. Thank you. The people who are gonna check the live out when I'm done. Thank you. And don't forget to subscribe. Hit that notification bell. You'll be notified when we drop new content. Let's continue. Now, the answer that came was the recent testimony from Absalom Zungu, father of the key state witness, Constable Sizwe Zungu, has created a significant credibility crisis for the prosecution in the Senzo Miwa trial. His denial of his son's claims and allegations of a conspiracy strike at the heart of the state's narrative. At the heart of the state's narrative. It means it's killing the most important witness that the state has. It's killing its evidence. That evidence is being erased. The allegations of fabrication and collusion. In November 2025, Absalom Zungu testified in the Gauteng High Court in Pretoria, explicitly denying that he ever made a statement to the led investigator, Brigadier Bongani Kininda, implicating the accused. Right? He never made a statement. That father never made a statement. We know about that. And the situation surrounding how he was approached, how the information got to him, how they claim the information was relayed to him, doesn't make sense because any self-respecting investigator will see this as hearsay. And now triple hearsay, they would even not disregard it. They'll try to get to the bottom of it, to the source, the person who said that. Why are we not getting all those people that were fighting, that were claimed to be fighting, and then the other one told Musical that, you know what, I'll end up going to the police. This is the claim that was claimed by Sizwe Zungu that his father overheard. But it never materialized that the investigating officers go to the source, go and establish further, okay, these people are saying this about these two people. Now, let's go to the people who originated the story. Let's hear where they got it from. No, we never got that. He went further, claiming that his son, Sizwe Zungu, colluded with Gininda to falsely link Moses Sibiya, accused number 1, and Bongani Ntanzi, accused number 2, to the October 2014 murder. Their father alleged that Sizwe was promised a promotion or monetary rewards for his testimony, which the defense labeled as fabricated. Right? No, which the state has labeled as fabricated because they think that Absalom Zungu is fabricating things. But if they think that way, they should have brought us his statement. They should have brought Absalom Zungu to come and testify from the start of the case, because that's the originator of the news, right? On top of his son, that's another originator of the news. But triple hearsay, originator of the triple hearsay, they never brought that to the court. They never brought this guy to come and put his story. This guy had to go to the local police station with the help of Njebs in Jabulo. Peace to my brother. That's my brother there. Doing good things, doing great things to help this case. Just because of the intervention of Njebs, right? Gaza Nation in Jabulo, right? That's when we got to know the story of Absalom Zungu. Other than that, we would have known nothing about it. We would have just heard about the claims that Ginda was making, about the father being the person who was the originator of the triple hearsay. Only after Zungu appeared that now the state started shaky. And to make it worse, just to show you that Absalom Zungu was never required by the state. Even the defense, even the media, they never touched on it. They never, that story was a breaking story, right? If there's a story like that on a case like this, that's a breaking story. And you wonder why the media never rushed to that, to get for themselves, their own point of view. Nah, they never did that. Even all the media, individuals in media representatives that are always being touted as being the best, as being objective, as being unbiased, they never did nothing. Daily Sun, the most tabloid of them all, is the one that went there because of Jebs. Other than that, no media decided to go and check out Absalom Zungu. Yet we are supposed to believe these guys when they're telling us their story on TV, that they are on some truth. Nah. We can see right through. We can see right through. And I'm under the impression that some of the media personnel there, they are in the chat acting as, trolls. You can tell by the reactions when they are in court. They are just looking at their phones. And I'm always wondering, like, do these people have what you call managers or overseers, somebody who's just checking out your progress, your job? What are you doing? Are you really doing your job? I don't think they have. I mean, it's the same as our government employees. Civil workers, you know that, right? Civil workers, especially the ones that are working for local government, municipalities. These guys, they can relax. They can relax. It's like they don't have foremen or overseers, people who are always interested to see, what did you do today? Okay, show me your progress. What are the milestones? It's like they don't have milestones when they go out every day to go work. They just go and see what they can do and then come back. Nobody checks their milestones at the end of the day or at the end of the week or at the end of the month. It's like no milestones are set when it comes to civil workers. They just work according to how they be feeling that day. It's the same as what is happening here. These people decided, no, okay, Daily Sun broke that story. That's nothing to us. We didn't break that story. We're not gonna even bat an eye. We're not even gonna look that side. But these people, they are being portrayed as objective journalists. I doubt it. Let's go further. My rant is over. Now, he went further claiming that his son, okay, I read this, right? Discrepancies in physical evidence, right? Now, the hoodie thing, I just want to leave it out. I've read it too much, right? Now, impact on the state's beyond reasonable doubt bearing. The father's testimony is legally damaging because it provides a familiar rebuttal to a star witness, like blood rebuttal, blood familial rebuttal. Somebody who's with you, somebody. It's not easy for families to to object to each other. But when it's happening like this, you have to know that nah, something is going on there. In South African law, the credibility of a single witness is paramount. If the court finds that Zungu had a motive to lie, such as promotion, his entire testimony may be disregarded under the cautionary rule. Without Zungu's testimony, the state loses its primary link between Fosro's hostile gathering and the Kelly Kumal household shooting. This creates reasonable doubt, which is the legal threshold required for an acquittal. Wow. Allegations of police misconduct. The most severe implication for the state is the suggestion of SAPS corruption. If Absalom Zungu's claims is true that Brigadier Gininda orchestrated a plot with a subordinate officer to fix the case to integrate the integrity of the entire investigation is compromised, the defense is now likely to push for the exclusion of all evidence linked to Sizwe Zungu, arguing that the constitutional right to a fair trial has been violated by the presentation of manufactured evidence. Yeah, I think I'll be at the end of my analysis. Just to give my 2 cents. Zungu, right? Zungu is a star witness, and you are an investigating officer. You have him here talking all these lies to you, blah, blah, blah. I saw these guys and what, but you don't go to those people. But you are in a rush to make him meet the commissioner, the national commissioner. You want him to meet the national commissioner. You want him to meet the other investigators. You want him to meet Makubu to try to convince him that, yeah, here's a new witness. But you haven't gone to where the triple hearsay is coming from. You don't bring those people here. And to make it fine, Sizwe Zungu only makes his statement of that important information only in 2024. I think 2023, yeah. No, I think it was, yeah, the same year when he was supposed to come and testify. That's only the only time that he makes his affidavit. Does it make sense? Doesn't make sense, right? So at this point, the state is just grasping us to, and I don't get it. Why doesn't Baloi just give up and say, nah, man, let me, to save face, all I have to do is just put it on the investigating office. But you can't do that at this point because I'm under the impression that if you get presented the case as a prosecutor, I think this ministry has said a couple of times in court, you get to go through it and you get to ask this investigating officer, what is this? Where is this guy? This is triple hearsay. And then where are the other 2 people? Where's the information that supports this? Where is Zungu? Let me hear what Zungu is saying. None of that happened. But yet Baloi came running to court and put all those charges there without questioning the validity or the credibility of Zungu's evidence, or even of Kininda's investigation. Anyway, guys, let me not take too much of your time. I think that was it. We're going to go with the next one. Probably I'm going to just hit them 2 by 2 on the next stream. I'll see. The days are getting shorter, and then we are getting closer to, I want to do all of these witnesses by the time the court reopens. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching. Thank you for being around. Thank you for the wishes that I got on the last video. I thank you. Thank you for your continued support. And please don't forget, like, hit that notification bell. If you're not subscribed, subscribe. The notification bell will help you to get new content every time we drop it without you doing anything. Anyway, guys, let me go. Peace. We out.